kind of East African drama you can't script, because the script is writing itself in real time. 4 live American CS M68 tear gas grenades show up in the boot of a Toyota Land Cruiser at Sirari. A Kenyan-American US Army sergeant is thrown into a Tanzanian cell, and suddenly, Kenyans are roasting Samia Suluhu's government like it is the Nyamachoma festival. This isn't just a border incident, it is a political earthquake, rattling Dar, shaking Nairobi, and embarrassing Washington. And behind it all, a regime desperately trying to buy a genocide scandal with a storyline so shaky it is held together by chewing gum and prayer. Let's start where the fire started. Saturday noon, Sirari border. Tanzanian police stop a Land Cruiser. Inside, 4 unmistakable M68 tear gas grenades, olive drab steel bodies, ribbed grip, color bands, intact pull rings. Not fireworks, not homemade smoke cans. These are US military-issued protest breakers, the kind that turn crowds into coughing, crying chaos within seconds. The man behind the wheel, Charles Onkuri Ongeta, 30, a Kenyan-American, a serving US Army sergeant, dual citizen, clean record, but now sweating in Tarime under Tanzania's explosive act where tear gas grenades are treated with the same severity as anti-personnel bombs. And that is where the story got weird, because barely 2 weeks earlier, President Samia Suluhu hasn't declared herself victory of a 98% landslide election. Numbers so inflated, even North Korea wouldn't whisper, "Relax, kid." Opposition called it rigged, streets erupted. Police responded with familiar Tanzanian efficiency. Crack skulls first, deny everything later. Bodies allegedly piled up, videos leaked, witnesses spoke. And Suluhu, she didn't pause, didn't blink. She blamed, wait for it, foreign agents. In East Africa, that is diplomatic code for Kenyans. So when a Kenyan-born US soldier got busted with grenades, her government jumped like a cat finding someone else to blame for the broken flower vase. But Kenyans weren't buying it. In fact, they responded like only Kenyans can, with savage, academic-level raw sessions. Suluhu thought blaming foreign agents would save her skin. Now she's framing a Kenyan Yankee Doodle to hide the body count. The satire wasn't even satire anymore. It was public diagnosis. One Nairobi firebrand posted, "Why drag a US sergeant into your mess? Afraid to admit your trigger-happy police turned elections into executions." Another tagged porters and the US Army demanding, "Free our guy and expose the real bombers, Suluhu snipers."
There's a Kenyan who's been arrested in Tanzania.
Yes.
A Kenyan military officer, an American military officer from Kenyan origin, and they found him with some grenades. What do you think the Tanzanians are doing? They are now pushing the narrative, it's Kenyans who want to destabilize Tanzania. Is it true or not?
Actually, this is just a case of probably wrong place at the wrong time. This is he holds a dual citizenship. He's a Kenyan with an American passport, and he's in the US Army. Probably he's a summer bunny who was in the country and was somewhere along the border of Kenya and Tanzania, and so they decided to drive into the
Tarime area.
Yes,
yeah.
They decided to drive into Tanzania.
In Tarime,
but
actually.
In Tarime, yes.
Yeah.
So they met a roadblock, and upon a search, he was found with the explosives. Well, a source has said that they have tried to trace where they have jailed him or where he's being put in custody. He's not in any communication. They don't know where he is.
Every hour new memes, every minute more receipts, every scroll another Kenyan turning Tanzania propaganda into a punchline. And Tanzania didn't sit quietly like a kid caught stealing mandazi. Headliners pushed their counter-narrative. Kenya is the viper's nest, exporting bombs, influences, and Western purpose to destabilize Tanzania. Some members of parliament feared that Kenyans were AI mocking the president. One thread even asked US President Donald Trump to invade and save our captive G.I. Joe. The coping mechanism were creative.
But CEO, I wanted to know, I think by the time you're unavuka border, don't they conduct a search by if you're driving?
They do, but let me tell you, Tanzania,
Yes.
I call it is a Gestapo state.
Yes.
A Gestapo state is worse, is a communist state. It's
Yes.
worse than the German or the Hitler Germany. Because the moment you enter Tanzania, the first person who reports that there's a foreigner
Yes.
is the hotel where you're going to stay.
Meanwhile, the real issue, the dark cloud Suluhu can't tweet away, lingers. Human rights group accuse her government of mass killings after the October election. Amnesty calls the entire foreign agent story unfounded xenophobia. Vocal Africa and Defenders Coalition demand UN-led genocide investigations. Kenyans watch, not with shock, but with recognition. They know this script. They have seen politicians weaponize narratives before. But this time someone tried to sprinkle Pentagon equipment into the mix and got caught. Ruto is watching quietly, too quietly. Insiders whisper he wants a private sit-down with Suluhu, maybe to cool the temperature, maybe to warn her that weaponizing Kenya is a dangerous sport, and the US Embassy silent, which only fuels suspicion that Washington is scrambling to understand how one of their own ended up playing an unwilling extra in Tanzania's political theater.
Tarehe 1, tarehe 2 kulikuwa na mauaji makubwa sana yanaendelea katika nchi yetu. Na sababu kubwa ya watu kuuawa ni ile madai ya kutaka mfumo huru wa uchaguzi, kutaka katiba mpya. Vijana hawajasikilizwa kwa muda mrefu, na hata kabla ya uchaguzi hali haikuwa nzuri Tanzania. Yani ndani tu ya mwezi mmoja, mwezi ule wa 10 kuelekea uchaguzi, vijana zaidi ya 54 walikuwa wametekwa, na mpaka sasa hivi haijulikani waliko.
At this point, one truth stands tall. The Sirari grenade saga didn't hide any genocide. It exposed it. It didn't frame Kenya. And if this was a psyop, it was executed with the grace of a slippery border on a rainy day. Kenyans have delivered their verdict loudly. Psyop exposed. Now probe the real killers. The fuse has been lit. The tear gas hasn't even begun to clear. Stay locked. East Africa's loudest megaphone is coming from Nairobi. For Maisha TV, I'm William Juma.